Hello and welcome from the European Parliament in Brussels. My name is Jana Philipa Albrechta. I'm the rapporteur for the data protection regulation, which is planned on the EU level. And with it, the data protection law and all the data protection rules in Europe will be changed and unified in one single instrument. By changing, I think we have to make clear that this is not a reform towards this regulation to restart everything from scratch. We are starting from a directive on EU level from 1995, which is implemented in all EU member states' law and which is setting out the basic principles, definitions and rules for data protection, and which is also seen to be a very good directive. Almost unanimous in the European Parliament, we agreed to hold the standard and the rules which we have agreed on in the directive from 1995. But we also agreed that this directive from 1995 needs some additional provisions and tools when it comes to the digitalized environment, which came as a mass phenomenon only after 1995. And which today is, of course, a huge challenge to fundamental rights as data protection, but also to the balance between consumer rights and business interest, and to the enforcement, of course, also of those rules which we give us. And this enforcement is to be done now with the regulation replacing all different interpretations in the EU member states to create one single standard for the European market. So everybody who is coming to the European market and processing personal data of Europeans and offering goods as services here has to comply with the data protection rules. And there is the same rules for everyone. So I think that also would be not only a huge step for citizens to have better enforcement of their fundamental rights, but also a huge step for business to have one single standard, first of all, not 27 different laws to comply with anymore, and also to have one level playing field. So everybody has to maintain the same standard, and so there is also competition, which is possible due to developments. For example, if there's a business more data protection friendly, then of course consumers will also go there and use these technologies, and therefore new ideas like data portability should help us doing so. All in all, I think there's no contradiction between data protection and business and new innovation on the other side. I don't think that these are two sides to be in contrary to each other, but those are two sides who go equally together. Data protection and trust of consumers and citizens into their digital life especially is a precondition for growth and innovation, for business and for competition. And I hope that we all can go together working on that regulation, that new EU data protection regulation, to create that high single standard which we all can trust in and which we can take as a starting point for a digital European market with high common standards. And therefore I wish you all the best for your conference, good discussions, and hopefully also fruitful outcome and constructive outcome, which you can always bring back to the European Parliament, the place where the European democracy is taking place and where this regulation will be passed, hopefully before its next elections in 2014 May. Thank you very much, and see you perhaps next time.